Hi, this is Carolina, the Soul Coach. Welcome to my podcast. Hello and welcome to Sunday Catchup podcast. How has your week been? My week has been interesting. A week full of learning, self-reflection, and very, very busy. What about yours? I don't really know where to start. I've got so much to say this morning and I really don't know where to start. So I will just start with February the 29th. How was that day for you? For a few people that I've spoken to, they had a similar day to mine, which was kind of like it didn't really feel like a real day, which is really strange. Very early on in the day, I realised that I wasn't going to get anything done on my list and that it was a day of just going with the flow. Whatever came up, I would deal with in that moment. And there was like niggly problems. It was just a very strange day. However, the next day, it was like the sun came out. Everything kind of just, like the domino effect, everything just fell into place. And it was such a sunny day. And I think it was pouring down with rain, but it was so sunny because all the hard work and everything that I was put into the day before all flowered the next day. So that was nice. But how was your February 29th, that leap year? Was it your birthday? Happy birthday if it was. So that was Thursday. Friday was a great day. And I think the rest of that week previously was a bit up and down. Nothing kind of leaps out. You know, when you have those days or those weeks where not a lot happens. That was kind of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was kind of more the latter part of the week. I think because I had Tuesday and Wednesday off. Monday, I love working on a Monday. You know, it's really interesting, and I'm going to digress. But working at Quest in this beautiful crystal shop, every day is different. Like Friday has that Friday feeling because the weekend's coming. Saturday just has an energy of its own. It's all busy. It's the families are together, but everybody's like really busy on a mission. And then Sunday has a different energy again, where it's all sort of more laid back. People are just kind of browsing and looking, not really on any particular mission. It's really fascinating, the energy of each day. I love it. I love it so much. So this Saturday I was teaching and I taught 2 mini workshops, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. One was connecting to your Dharma, which was really interesting, and I'll come back to that in a minute. And the second one was a Reiki Master Refresher. So that was for all but you know what I mean, all the Reiki Masters that we had trained. We offer a refresher afternoon twice a year, and so that was this Saturday gone past in the afternoon. So that was really nice, embracing the Reiki, giving Reiki to one another. I have to say I fell asleep and snored, but that was wonderful, really wonderful. Rather embarrassing waking yourself up with people in the room, giving Reiki and receiving Reiki, and you wake yourself up snoring, so that was really funny. And talking about funny, something else happened this week and latter part of the last week, which is really embarrassing. And I can't believe I'm going to share this on the podcast because it was very embarrassing. But I felt a bit like, you know, the elderly ladies in particular, I feel. I'm sure it happens to men, but I definitely know it happens to elderly ladies. When they kind of move, they might sit or move. Something happens that's very embarrassing. They pass wind. That was happening to me this week. Every time I sat up or I moved, I passed wind. So I think I need to look at what I'm eating and maybe drink some more water. I don't know, but it was very embarrassing. For anyone that heard me, I'm sorry. Thank goodness it's passed for now. I felt really, I just felt very uncomfortable about that. And I am embracing getting older, because it's not easy, is it? All these things, your aches and your pains, and but I quite like the age that I am. I feel a lot wiser than where I was before, and a lot more connected to myself. But the physical body has its little quirkiness. So anyway, that was my funnyism this week. And right, let's get back on track. Sorry, living a life of Dharma. Do you know what your Dharma is? It's really interesting. So I'm just going to kind of say it. So your Dharma is, in essence, your soul's calling. It's your soul's purpose. It's like, what were you born to experience this lifetime? So to feel, and it's like a lifetime work, Dharma. So it's all about connecting to your soul. So it's not necessarily about the doing, it's the being. It's how you are being to anything, to any project, to anything. It's like your soul's calling. So if you imagine we're a teacher, but it's how you bring yourself to the teaching. How does your soul bring itself to the teaching? And so it's more like soul, it's more soul purpose. So we might feel drawn to doing a job for our purpose, but it's more the essence. It's how we feel and how we bring presence to a particular thing. So it's so we concentrated on spiritual Dharma, and it's about that there's something bigger that's running through you and around you, and what that brings to your life and how you present that. So we all thought of a word that would describe that. So some words were essence, light, awareness, energy. Someone said positivity, which was great, and then I think they brought energy to that word, so energy. So so that's what it's, in essence, it's about your soul's purpose. And this lifetime, so what the Hindus, because it's based primarily around the Hindu religion, though lots of different people, Buddhists, believe in Dharma. And so what the Hindus say, let me try and explain. So what the Hindus say is that we have a purpose this lifetime. We have Dharma to fulfill this lifetime. And if we fulfill our Dharma, so if we live by our soul's purpose, we will create positive karma. So that karma is cause and effect. So that as we go through life, we bring kindness, we bring love, we bring compassion to everything that we do. And so then we're creating positive karma. We're creating well-being. We're creating situations where we can be enlightened. So this is what the Hindus believe. So they believe that we have Dharma and that we live our soul's purpose. We therefore then create good karma, great karma. We have positive effects in our life. We have great things coming to us. And then that is then, if we enlighten so much, we can cease samsara. Samsara is life and death cycle. So it's where we are born and we die, we born, we die, we born, we die. So we have that cycle which is called samsara. And then what happens is, if we enlighten, we can stop the samsara cycle and achieve moksha, which is the end of life and death as we know it, and we have complete freedom. I believe it is lifetime work. I don't believe I think Dharma takes time, and it's remembering, isn't it? It's remembering our soul's purpose. So I was inviting everyone to have a look at our lives and day to day, So if we use the word essence for the soul, what would essence have to say about this situation? What would energy have to say about this? What would awareness have to say about this? So it's just about living a spiritual life. And it's not necessarily in the doing. You can be spiritual, living a life of Dharma, being, whatever you're choosing to be. And whatever your work is, from being a teacher to a nurse to collecting our rubbish, or being a cleaner, or being a solicitor, or being a lawyer, or a mathematician, or anything. So it's just about how you bring, or an actor, or an actress. It's how you bring that dharmic, how you live that dharmic life. So anyway, that's in essence brief. There's loads of stuff on YouTube on it, loads of stuff that you can research. But I would thoroughly recommend looking into that, just because it just helps you make better decisions, I think, this lifetime. And, we're causing karma all the time, aren't we? And I know what kind of karma I want to create and what choices I want to make, and to consider other people's feelings as well within it all, and what's the right thing. If we come from fear, and if we come from greed, or we come from selfishness, where it's all about me, and not considering anyone else, you're going to set up and make decisions based on that fear, or that scare, or that worry. We're gonna set up karma, aren't we? That's not going to be pleasant. It's just the cause and effect, just a universal law. So maybe look into Dharma, living a life of Dharma. It's very, very interesting. So that was my workshop on Saturday, which was very enlightening. And one thing to remember, and I just find this quite funny, and that is, we're born, aren't we? We're born, and you think of all that beautiful kind of energy, that consciousness, that essence, that word that brings us to be born. And then, I don't know, have you held a baby? I'm sure you have. And they're just pure energy, aren't they? Pure spirit, pure essence, pure consciousness. Some people say it's the closest thing to God. It's just wonderful. And we're all born like this. We're all born in this essence. And then, of course, we grow up, don't we? Our brain starts to develop. We start being conditioned. We start making, creating beliefs. We start listening to others, and we make things mean things. And then we kind of lose sight, don't we, of that essence, of that joy that we are, of that consciousness. We lose sight of that because we're cracking on being a human being. If we were born into, that consciousness, which we are, and that joy and that love, and we just stay there, we're not really going to experience being a human being. And that's what we're here to do. To live our dharmic life, to have karma, to achieve enlightenment, freedom. So we go through life and we forget who we are. We forget we are that essence, until one day we realise that life isn't necessarily working for us, and we start questioning, what are we doing? Why are we here? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Or life circumstances may cause us to, become unwell, or we have to change a big job, change our career path, or we might have to get divorced. There's something that generally happens in our life that kind of awakens us to that there has to be more, that there's something working through us, and that it just makes us think this doesn't work. I remember this happened to me at 29, 30. It's like, why am I kind of living my career? What am I doing? And I kind of had this kind of awakening moment, even though it was really challenging and really, really tough, and I had to throw everything up in the air. It was really good. Some people call it the dark night of the soul, but honestly, it's an awakening. It's an awakening to your soul, an awakening to this beautiful energy that we were born with. So we have this eureka moment, and then we start learning everything, and we start experiencing everything. We start trying everything spiritual. And then we think we have to do spiritual things to be spiritual. That was one decision that I made, that we had to do spiritual to be spiritual, which I don't believe is true. I think we are spiritual. We don't have to do spiritual to be spiritual. We just bring spiritual presence, soul's purpose to our everyday life. So going back to my journey. So we wake up. We connect to all that is. We connect to that stillness, that joy, that love, and we remember we are this. Then what happens? We get on. We crack on being a human being, living a human being life. We have to. And it's that circle. We're born into this beautiful energy. We are this energy. We then get on with life. And then we remember, and then we get on with life again. I think I thought once I'm spiritual and everything else, it's like, what's then? What's next? But actually it's moving forward, bringing presence, bringing that joy, bringing that love, bringing those dharmic qualities, that soul's purpose to our everyday lives. And then life becomes more joyous, more peaceful, more loving, more compassionate. But if we stay stuck within that bit of awakening and we don't choose to awaken, then we're not going to achieve that. I don't believe we will achieve that awakening. We will stay stuck and we will keep creating this karmic life that not necessarily is working for us until we have courage to look at ourselves and work on ourselves and to undo all the conditioning and undo all those beliefs that we've created as we're growing up. And when we do that, we realise that everything is an illusion. Whatever you might think of someone else is not true. It's all an illusion. What we might think about our situation, there could be some other way of looking at it. We see the world differently. It's like we take the blinkers off. And I promise you, having worked on myself for many years, I'm still working on myself. I still have a therapy session regularly. I still question myself. I still look. Of course I do. It's lifetime. It's a lifetime's work. So if you think you've got it, great, amazing, happy days. And then the next day, you might just have to look at something else and then you can achieve freedom from that. So this week, I've been learning lots about myself. I've been learning lots about remembering to bring joy and remembering we are joy. We are joy. We are that consciousness. We are already it. It's not something outside of us. It's something inside of us. And we can connect to that anytime. But our brains sometimes get in the way of us feeling that. But if we can work on those beliefs, work on that conditioning that's filed in our subconscious, clear it, we will come back to consciousness, at our essence, joy. Interesting subject, isn't it? And I'll talk more about this because I'm really passionate about this and about connecting to this stillness, to this joy and bringing presence to every moment. And I am working on it. And I'll talk to you another time about Ho'oponopono because that also has changed our lives, my husband and I love that ancient Hawaiian tradition. It's fantastic. But I think that's enough of me today. Thank you for listening. Any questions, anything you want to chat through, please contact me. And remember you are love. Remember you are joy. There was a little exercise that we did on Saturday, and I invite you to do it, and that's to look in the mirror every day and say to yourself and look in your eyes, I love you unconditionally. I love you unconditionally. I love you unconditionally. And put your name in. So I would say, Carolina, I love you unconditionally. Try it and do it every day for the next 30 days and see how you get on. Bye for now.